going to bring the tone down a little bit.
Is that possible?
I sometimes write comic poems in the style of Hilaire Belloc. This is a kind of a cautionary tale about a man I used to know, Michael, who was an awful flirt. Michael was an awful flirt. His charm was legendary. It hurt his steady girlfriend when she saw the way he always hoped to score. One day, while Mike was chatting up a girl called Anna, whose bra cut was 36 and double D, his girlfriend told him, "Don't you see? If you go on, my plan is this. I'll have to shoot you. I won't miss." But Michael said, "You won't, you know. You really love me, don't you know?" And carried on to flirt some more. His girlfriend, feeling very sore, like Cupid, took a bow and arrow, aimed, shot, and his escape was narrow. Her shot did not go through his heart, but rather lower. It did smart, and now his voice is quite high-pitched. His girlfriend, seeing Anna, "Bitch," says Michael, "how was I to know that both the girls were by?" And the moral of that is, a bitch in the hand is worth two birds in each other's bushes. This is a poem I wrote last week. This is much more serious. It's based on a nursery rhyme, an English nursery rhyme called "This is the House That Jack Built." But it's about a very sad situation where Korean and Chinese women are trying to get compensation for rapes done to them during the Second World War by Japanese army men. And a certain mayor of Osaka claimed that this raping was necessary to keep the army healthy. So these women are really not very pleased. This is the poem that I wrote because I wasn't very pleased when I read it. This is Japan in the Second World War. This is the army that fought for Japan in the Second World War. These are the men that learnt to be brutes when they fought in the army that fought for Japan in the Second World War. These are the women repeatedly raped who saped the men who learned to be brutes when they fought in the army that fought for Japan in the Second World War. This is the mayor, Hashimoto of Osaka, who told the women they had to be raped to sate the men who learned to be brutes when they fought in the army that fought for Japan in the Second World War. Is this Japan in the second millennium condoning the mayor who told the women they had to be raped to sate the men who learned to be brutes when they fought in the army that fought for Japan in the Second World War? Yes. This is a poem that I wrote I finished it about an hour ago, and it probably isn't finished therefore. We've been in Paris for 2 days. It's poured with rain, and I've been finding little shoes about that long, all over Paris. So I wrote this. It's not the theme, I'm afraid. I've called it 2 exhibits in the Museum of Historic Footwear. All over Paris, babies were shedding footwear. Here is a felt slipper, like a small curled leaf, found on a platform at Saint-Lazare station. This tiny red striped sock lay like a caterpillar in a puddle in a back street in Parmentier. Collectors saw the significance of these finds when woolen booties, lovingly knitted by grand-mère, began floating down the Seine. A slew of minuscule sandals clogged up Parisian drains, and the metro tunnels filled up with tiny flip-flops. Then the cry of "Liberté!" went up as babies raised the barricades and bared their little souls.
That's it, Chan.
No, I haven't. Thank you.